Do you guys talk about the recognition or lack thereof that maybe you guys are getting outside?
No, we don't really like sit in the locker room and talk about it much. Like we know about it, we just use it as fuel though. But we never just like sit and talk about it. No.
Why do you think it's? Do you have any? You guys have any theories on why it hasn't? You guys win games and doesn't seem to matter in terms of the perception.
No, we don't really think about it. We just go out there and just keep playing our game and being good with the result.
The results you've had lately, I mean, you've blown out 2 opponents here, you've won on the road, you've won some really important games throughout the season, but when you're in the ACC, you got to go play against Virginia Tech on the road, and these huge games coming up down the stretch. Just how motivated is this team going into these final few weeks of the season and playing against these tough teams that are coming up on the schedule?
I feel like we're just going into every game the same way we've been going to all of them, even at the start of the season with a chip on our shoulder. Just like you said, we're not getting the respect we feel like we deserve, but it is what it is at the end of the day. That's something that we can't control. So every day we just got to go in and control what we can control, and that's how hard we play on the court. And that's all we can focus on.
Was the practice you had today, for instance, same intensity as the practice you had maybe before the Sacred Heart game 2 months ago?
Yeah, it's a habit. We working on building habits here. It's not about who the opponent is. It don't really matter. Every day you gotta focus on getting better. So if that's going as hard as possible, no matter who it is, you just gotta go out there and whatever coach wants us to do at practice, we gotta go out there and do it.
Coach, you guys have had.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry, you guys have had some high-scoring games recently, but defensively, points allowed has been down here over the last few weeks. What's allowed your defense to improve?
We've just been doing a better job of keeping the ball in front. And then even when we don't keep it in front at times, we got Fetty down there that's going to, make up for all the mistakes we make on defense. So having Fetty down there to protect us whenever we make a little mistake has been helpful for us all year.
Greg, Coach talked about how at this point of the year, guys are banged up. You can't do as much physically in practice. Is it hard to keep that intensity up when you can't do as much, physical work?
Nah, at the end of the day, I feel like with us being an older team, we good with mental reps. Like, we done been through it so much to where, like, we don't have to go out there and physically beat ourselves up every day to understand a game plan or the opponent we get ready to play.
Greg, I know Coach O'Toole's more of a post coach, but what's your experience been like around him, and what's he like to be around, and how much of a motivator is he?
I love being around T.O. It's always just positive energy with him. He's a big energy guy. He prides himself on feeding off energy and being the type of guy that brings the energy to a room. I enjoy my time around him. You gotta see him at practice. His energy at practice is crazy. So if we going up and down, he's sprinting up and down on the side. So his energy is just infectious, and it's great being around him. He's a great leader as well.
Coach Capel talked about his, assistant coach's role within a game and what he turns to them for. What kind of advice do they give you in the moment of a game, and does it differ from what Coach Capel is able to give you guys?
I feel like they all give us something different, but T.O., he the one that's usually. When he says something to me, it's about a little defensive tweak or something like that. One thing me and T.O. had, so most people don't know. So the steal I got against Miami, it was something actually me and him had talked about. Not the steal per se, but it was just going over their plays and their tendencies. After a couple of seconds, I could jump off one person and getting their pass and their vision for the next one, and it actually happened at the end of the game and it worked out.
What about Coach Jason? What kind of stuff does he kind of help you tweak throughout the middle of a game?
He the guy that is usually telling me to stick with my shot, or if I miss a few, he'd be the one to be you get ready, it's another big one coming. Don't worry about that. So that's usually what he do for me. But he definitely another positive guy that's in our ear. Making sure we know what we doing defensively, and just telling us to, have confidence in ourselves on offense.
After that play against Miami, did you run and find him and say, hey?
No, after the game, yeah, I told him. He was like, that's what happened when you do your math. It basically was nothing, just counting. He was count to 2. Once you get to 2, jump to the next guy. And that's what happened. I counted to about 2.5 and jumped and got the steal.
Greg, how do you explain this season? I mean, you guys, rough start, rough trip to New York, and you lose, your best big man, most experienced big man. Your recruit doesn't play. Your top guy coming in, and you guys have kind of put this together. How does that happen?
I feel like it's just it comes to do with how connected we are with each other. We knew that everybody on the outside was gonna have their own opinion on what they saw after that 1-3 start. But at the end of the day, we knew what our end goal was. We knew, being older guys, we had to stick together no matter what. So I feel like it all came with our connectivity. Us being connected was the start. And once we got connected, I felt like it was nobody that could really, stop that or break that. So once we got it and got the rolling, it was no stopping it.
You said we all know what the end goal is. Did you guys did the players, because Jeff says he doesn't talk to you guys about that stuff. Did the players talk about this is what our goals are for
Yeah,
the
we
season?
we wanted to be we wanted to make noise in the ACC. We knew, when it came out that we was gonna be 14th. That's why when you talked about the media question, we don't really think about being ranked, honestly. Only thing we really think about is the people that ranked us 14th in this league. Every day, that's the only thing that's on our brain. That we use that as a chip. Like the number 14 is crazy. Like, when you really sit and think about it. So that's how we think about it. We don't think about it as being ranked, but when we picked 14th, we had to get it.
Was there a point when did you start to see, because watching you guys play, it's pretty remarkable how all the pieces seem to fit, and when did it do you think that maybe the light bulb kind of started to turn on for you guys in terms of not the connectivity, not just as dudes, but like as players on the floor playing together?
I think it all clicked for us, Northwestern, honestly. That was a game where I felt like everybody just had it going, and we was on the road. And honestly, that game, it didn't even feel like it was a road game. We was so connected, and I feel like we got the fans out of there, out of the game early enough to where it just felt like it was another day in the office, at practice or something. It didn't even feel like it was a game. We just had so much fun playing, and everybody was connected and locked in. It was just a fun way to play. And I think after that, we just felt like if we can continue to do that, it's going to be hard for teams to beat us.
Greg, obviously, a point guard's going to touch the ball a lot, which is going to allow him to do a lot of things. Why is it JV is so impactful in so many different areas on the basketball court?
It's because, like you said, he doesn't just need to have the basketball. He affects in so many ways. Just when he does have the ball, always making the right decision. That's really what he does. Vast majority of the time, he's going to make the right decision if it's scoring, passing, whatever it may be. And then it's just not that, even if that's not going his way that day, right? He's not making shots. He's still going to make the right pass every time. And at the same time, his voice means a lot. Because at the end of the day, he one of the people that's been here. He got to see what it was like when they was 11 and 20, and had bad seasons in the ACC. So you're going to listen to him a little more because he's been through it, like the downs of this. Now, I'm just happy to see him on the ups with us, because I know it's tough to be in a situation like that. So I feel extremely happy to be on his side, knowing that we're on the high road this time.
Greg, you guys have a probability, I guess, of 10 more wins than they had last year. Do you ever think about that? You were part of a group of guys, new guys, that they would turn this thing around so quickly?
That's what we was brought here for. Us like transfers, we always told, we trying to turn this around. Nobody said we was rebuilding nothing. We knew we was coming in and trying to make noise this year. So we came in with that mindset of having that chip on our shoulder, and then us getting picked 14th just only helped with that. So that's really all it's been.
Greg, this late in the season, coaches talked about adjusting practices to help give your bodies a rest, to help kind of alleviate some of that wear and tear. What have you personally done to kind of stay ready and keep your body in shape this late in the season?
So for me personally, I don't like cold tub. I don't like the ice bath at all. So that's one thing that's like this year is something I've been doing way more. Like my minutes are way up than any time in my career. So after every game, I got to get in the ice tub for about 8 minutes. And then the day after we had treatment, I usually have to get in again. So I would say that's one thing that's been new for me. So I feel like a lot of our guys was been doing recovery.
Hey, we hear that Coach O'Toole likes to hit some of your bigger guys with that shield.
Yeah.
He ever hit you with it?
Nah, I don't even go down there. But I have heard it though. He swings the pad wildly for sure.
Greg, Coach was talking about to us a couple minutes ago about how guys will independently watch film or watch games, just end up watching games, and then he will pick y'all's brain about, well, what do you think about Team X or whatever? Are you part of that group? I mean, are you guys just watching as fans, or is it like a dedicated, hey, so and so is playing, some team we're playing in 2 weeks is on at 9. If you're not doing anything, let's meet up and watch.
I feel like it's not like we coordinated. Right. It's just one of them things that be like we pretty much know the schedule. Like, ACC, we're gonna play it once early in the week and then on the weekend. So if it's early in the week and it's like, oh man, we do get ready to play them. We just like watching basketball at the end of the day. I just like to watch basketball and learn something from another team, or figure out their tendencies or something like that. But it's even better when you get ready to play this team. So find out little things that the other team doing to get free baskets or quick points or something like that. So I feel like it's just a thing we do. It's never been something we coordinate. It just always happen on the fly.
And so it's just generic then. It just
Yeah, it's not even like we just be like, yo, we gotta make sure we watch them play whoever. Because at the end of the day, they can be playing a team that plays nothing like us, So it's just something that really just happened.
So what did you watch last night? Virginia Tech? Because
Yeah,
playing them,
we
or
watched
did you watch Virginia?
We watched Virginia. I watched a little bit of both. But I watched a little bit of both. It was like watch Virginia and Louisville. Cause I just like watching, Virginia play. They right below us in the standings. You were neck and neck for real. And, Louisville in our league, they've been, they play hard. That's one thing you can't say about Louisville. They're gonna play hard. They're gonna put up a fight no matter who they play. And then we definitely was watching the Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech game because we definitely knew we was playing Virginia Tech. So I definitely tuned in to both, but I was more in tune on the Virginia Tech game until the end because I thought Virginia had a chance to. Louisville had a chance to get that game at the end, so I watched it to that.
You guys watch those games together? Or is it
yesterday we was together. We was at Coach Pursuti house, a good portion of us. I don't want to miss nobody, because Nelly was there, JB was there, Blake was there, I was there. Both twins was there, no Fede. Will was there, don't want to miss Will. And then Robert Bloss was there, that's our GA, he was there.
Who's the most, when you guys are doing this together, just instead of in that sort of setting, who's the loudest? Who's the Dick Vitale? Is there a Dick Vitale? Is there a guy that insists they're right?
Sure. No,
their analysis is
no, I don't think we got one of them, but the loudest person there during it was Blake though, 100%.
You do realize players just pointed at you.
You picked me, please?
Nobody's real loud. That means that you're the loud one.
I don't think I was. I'm going Blake. I probably was second. And then see, we had treats and stuff. Coach Jake, youngest son Grant, was running around the house for real. He was the one. If we gonna really put it there, he was the one. He had a ball.
What were the treats?
We just had brownies, We had pizza, but the brownies is what set Grant off.
You mentioned a couple of times being picked 14th. I mean, that was months ago.
Yeah.
That's something you still actively like. That's
Yeah.
still.
Definitely, because at the end of the day, it's like that didn't go nowhere. It might have been 2 months ago, but if I grab my phone right now, I can pull that up. It's not far fetched. It's right there. So I feel like if we go in with that mindset, I feel like we felt disrespected when it first came out. I feel like our whole team when we was put together felt disrespected. Everyone felt like they had a chip on their shoulder and had something to prove. So if we go out with that mindset on a daily basis, I feel like it's nobody that can, break that.
Is there
Greg.
a bulletin board somewhere that you guys you put that up or anything?
That's what's even crazier. We don't even have no bulletin board about it or nothing. We just talk about it, We bring up. So you gotta think, the way we think about it is we go into every game. There's only one team that they had that was under us on that, and that was Georgia Tech. So everybody else is ahead of us, and we gotta get ahead of them, and that's the way we think about it.
Part of the reason you watched, bigger reason you watched that game last night was that your next two opponents, Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech. But we were also thinking, hey, if Virginia loses, we're first place by ourselves. Was that a thought?
That's definitely a thought. You maybe slip up. You never know what could happen, especially in this conference. Any given night, anybody can be beat. We just saw, Georgia Tech get them one at home. So it's really no telling in this league. So you really got to come in every day with your A game and be ready for a fight.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Greg.